wet out.
Because it's raining.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe sit that one.
Trying.
Is that a new watch?
Yeah. I got it because we're not releasing movie trips on a timely manner, so I figured this helps me keep track of time.
Why not just get a calendar? Oh well. Yeah, let's head to the movie. Dunkirk, right?
Dunkirk.
Yeah. Have you listened to the score?
No, I don't want to look at any of the trailers or any of the music.
Okay.
I want to be surprised. Is it good?
Yeah, it's really intense.
Do you want to put it on?
Like camping. Yeah, sure. Do you have the,
I got the aux.
Nice! Somebody's kidding.
Okay, let's not do that.
Not gonna play that, alright.
It's a little frayed, but...
It's fine.
Okay.
Looks like we're afraid of time. Interstellar, Hans Zimmer, because it's time. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We got plenty of it.
Alright, I don't think you're ready for this. Here we go. Movie?
Yeah. I can't. Well, that's the last time I'm wearing a watch.
Don't ever wear a watch again.
That's it. I'm done.
Let's go. Let's just see Dunkirk. About to go see Dunkirk. It's gonna be fun. We broke a sweat earlier, but everything is okay. I'm really excited to see it. Dunkirk is directed by Christopher Nolan.
And written
by Christopher Nolan.
And stars. Just kidding, doesn't stars.
Stars Harry Styles and a bunch of other people that no one really cares about.
Cillian Murphy.
And him too. Dunkirk is about Dunkirk.
And what better way to see it than in
IMAX.
cameras in IMAX.
Oh, that were also shot with cameras.
Shot with IMAX.
We're good at this.
I'm excited to get my heart pounding.
I'm excited for Hans Zimmer's score.
With Hans Zimmer's score, just tick, tick, tick,
Yeah,
tick, tick.
because he hasn't put out a notable score in a while. And I'm very excited about that, because he's been on tour doing his live stuff around the globe. He snuck this in somewhere, so
yeah, it is fun. The movie's PG-13, and originally I was like, I don't know, I'm hopefully optimistic, cautiously optimistic. I'm optimistic. Can't go wrong with Christopher.
I'm feeling pretty prime about this.
In Nolan we trust,
yes,
as we always say. Let's do it. Trailer time.
You're weekend sailors, not the bloody Navy. You should be at home.
There's no hiding from this, son. We have a job to do.
Turn it around!
We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender. We shall never surrender.
Ticking will never sound the same.
I've just been biting my nails. I'm sweating.
So Dunkirk, like we said before, is directed by Christopher Nolan.
And written by
Christopher Nolan. What you get in the trailers is what you get in the movie extended to 2 hours. Is that a bad thing? Absolutely not. It's a fantastic film.
Yeah. It's nice to see a World War II film that's not told from the American side. I'm sure this movie's going to be compared to Pearl Harbor, maybe Saving Private Ryan, but
Battleship.
Minus the aliens. It focuses on a different aspect of war. It's not about the blood and the guts and, oh, this guy's arm just got blown off.
It's about the intensity and how serious war can be. So Christopher Nolan's films tend to be very, very loud and focused on a lot of detail involving sound.
Yeah.
This is also involved with Interstellar, Inception. First of all, the sound design team.
Yeah.
If I had both my hands available right now, I would be applauding you. This is probably the most visually stunning film I've seen this year. If this wins an Oscar for its visual effects,
I think it's deserving.
It's very deserving.
Yeah. I mean,
if there is CGI in the film, I didn't notice.
No.
This is one of the most realistically executed war films I have ever seen.
No, some of the shots where you're just like, how, you know, some of the shots, you know how they pull it off. You know, they have a plane and then maybe another plane or a helicopter flying by them. They hold on these shots. They're not cutting back and forth, and it's just, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It just makes you cry.
If there's any kind of format that you can see this film in and get a genuinely pure experience of how this film was supposed to be experienced.
Yeah. It was shot with IMAX film cameras. Come on, it's in the poster.
Yeah.
So originally when I saw the first teaser, I was hooked. I mean, Christopher Nolan, I haven't seen him make a bad film, and that's including Dark Knight Rises, which I'm sure didn't live up to the potential that Dark Knight set before it. Anything that is written and directed by the same person needs to be seen. I mean, we addressed it back with
Suicide Squad.
Not based off an existing franchise, original ideas. When I found out it was PG-13, originally I was like, war movie. Every war film needs to be R-rated.
This didn't need to be rated R.
It didn't need to be. I could see where some scenes could have used that R rating to add that impact.
There was one F-bomb in the entire movie, and it was used very tastefully.
This could have been rated PG and nothing would have really changed, but it still would have been as suspenseful
and intense.
This
movie is very intense.
Yes, a lot of new actors were in this. Of course, we always struggle with the names.
The casting director for this film knocked it out of the park. Even Harry frickin' Styles.
He was not distracting.
He wasn't distracting. He was there. He wasn't, I don't even think he was like a cash grab. He's in the movie and he did very well.
I like a lot of the characters, I don't want to say their motivations, but there's actions that they do where there's not a lot of exposition, where they're like, I'm gonna do this, and this is, the reason why I'm doing this is so I could do this and that. It's very subtle. It's maybe even a few seconds on screen.
It's very visual. If you are on your phone at any point in this movie trying to take a Snapchat or boomerang of Harry Styles, you're gonna miss key elements of the movie, and you're gonna keep asking yourself, what the hell am I watching?
Yeah.
That's how Christopher Nolan movies work. That's how many movies work. Get off your freaking phone. Anywho.
There are a couple moments where the music and the explosions
and the sound effects
are overpowering some of the dialogue, and I couldn't make out what people were saying. But it was basically, the gist is, we gotta get out of here, and we need more. We need more planes, we need more destroyers, we don't need civilian boats.
Yeah.
So I kind of got the gist of it.
The pacing is not something you need to worry about. It's non-stop. The second that ticking starts, it never ends. And you are on the edge of your seat. Your bag of popcorn is gone. You've eaten the bag itself.
Yeah, you're just nervous. You're worried for any character that's on screen.
Yeah. And you're worried about yourself because you don't know when the next bullet is gonna hit, when the next explosion is gonna hit, so you can brace yourself. That's only a very small fraction of what these soldiers are dealing with. Yeah. And the fact that Christopher Nolan conveyed that through a movie was incredible.
Beautiful, beautifully said.
Thank you.
Oh my God. That's what we're trying to convey.
There you go.
There's not a lot of dialogue in this film, but when there is dialogue, it serves the purpose of the film.
And it's intriguing.
And it's intriguing and engaging and suspenseful. 400,000 men couldn't get home, but wait, they only have the capability of returning 30,000, 40,000. That's a smaller number than 400,000, which means probably gonna be people dying. That's filler. They're not talking about, oh, my family here and my family there. I don't know.
There's no unnecessary backstory for every character you meet.
Yeah.
You're in for the ride. You're like, okay, here we go. We're going out to sea. Okay, oh, we're in a plane with this guy. Great, finally. A lot of people will think this movie's all over the place. It's not.
I love it, man. Christopher Nolan, he just knows how to make movies. And every time he releases one, I just get so freaking excited. And this one I was, and it left me satisfied.
Maybe a moment or two brought a tear to my eye. So
yeah, it's a very important time in world history. It's nice that Christopher Nolan can tell an important story from an important time in world history, not from the American perspective. We don't see that very often, especially with this type of budget. At the end of the day, I loved it. If someone asked me to see it again, I would see it again in IMAX, or really in any format, but preferably IMAX.
Go see it in IMAX.
Go see it in IMAX. But I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It was hard to hear the dialogue and the brief moment where I was taken out in terms of the continuity thing, but that was on me, just not paying attention 100%.
Me too, but then you're brought right back in
to
making
very brief moment.
I'm gonna give Dunkirk a 9 out of 10. It would be a 10 out of 10 if only some of the dialogue was able to be heard clearly. Obviously there's like some grungy accents, and they're British, and there's a lot of explosions and planes and incredible sound effects. That's the only takeaway I have. This was a very raw look at war. Not so much the gritty, more gory side, but very much the more intense side that a lot of movies don't capture all that well.
Yeah, it put you in the perspective of the soldier really well.
Yeah.
And I think the ticking clock is supposed to represent the fact that the enemy is closing in, and at any moment, you know.
Fly to the theaters to go see this movie right now.
Take a boat, swim.
Take a boat, swim. Do what you need to do to get to the movie theater. Go see this movie in IMAX if you can. We saw Dunkirk in an IMAX theater and it wasn't even close to being packed. So give this movie all your money. As usual, we're gonna end this with a question, and the question is, what is your favorite Christopher Nolan movie so far? Personally, my favorite is Inception, because it has the first score to a film that I ever shed a tear in. So, and also it's just a visual masterpiece. You?
I'm gonna have to go with The Prestige. I love the world. Two magicians fighting for the perfect magic trick. Great cast, Michael Caine, Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, fantastic. I loved it. Prestige, that's my #1 favorite Christopher Nolan
Yep,
film.
and
To date, and Inception.
Yep. So Dunkirk, go see it if you haven't, and if you already have, let's talk about it. Tell us what you thought. It was fun.
Yeah. We'll try and release this early. Just kidding.
Yeah, Dunkirk came out a few years ago, but here we are. It's fine. At the end of the day, it's just a movie. We're all doing this for fun. If you liked it, awesome. If you didn't, totally fine. I get it. So join us next time for when we go see the Emoji Movie.
Yes, emoji, winky face.
Great.